Thank you very much, Alex, and big welcome to everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Reese. I am the Communications and Community Manager on the Ecomi side of our business, and today we will be talking Omi token migration. So I think we have quite a few people joining us. If anyone wants to share or tweet this out, please feel free. But without further ado, I will just start by saying a big welcome to everybody. This is the second of 5 of these Q&A sessions that we are running. So we did do one in the Veve Discord server on Monday, and that recording is available in the Veve Discord server as well. There is an audio downloads channel. I think we will look to record this one, but I actually don't know how to hit record. So we may just record the Discord ones for now. But the point is, these Q&A sessions are more or less the same. We're presenting the same content and obviously giving everybody a chance to ask their questions if we can. So if you miss any of this, if you would like to listen back to that original recording or to the next one, those resources will be available for you. But without that, so we should just move on from there. I just want to say before we get started that this token migration is nothing to be scared of. If you're new to crypto or relatively new, if you have never invested in a token that has done a chain swap before, it can seem a little bit daunting. But fundamentally, the point of this is really to save you money. There are 2 options for swapping your tokens that are free and automatic, and then there is one that is manual that will cost you money. So we will get into those. But I think we'll just dive right in. So when it comes to this chain migration, the Omi token is currently on the GoChain blockchain. And we are swapping to Ethereum via Immutable X. The last phase of this migration is swapping the actual Omi token. Right? Veve is already across and all the wallets are registered. Now you have 3 options when it comes to swapping your Omi tokens. The first one is you can send them to exchanges. Now, up until now, all 4 exchanges that the Omi token is available on, which is Ascendex, Bit4X, OKX, and Gate.io, have indicated that they will support the token swap and assist us with it. So if you send your tokens to the exchanges will automatically swap them from the current GoChain Omi token to the new Ethereum or ERC20 Omi token. Now, those tokens will be swapped to Layer 1. Layer 1 means that you can continue to use your tokens on exchanges. So if you want to sell your Omi tokens in the future, if you like to trade them, you need them on Layer 1 to be able to do so. The second option to swap your Omi tokens is to send them into your Veve app wallet. Now, for any Android users, you can access the Omi wallet linked to your account from within the app. I think you just go to your profile, open your wallet settings, and you can toggle the Omi wallet on and off. For any Apple or iOS users, you need to use the web wallet. Some people may not be aware that there is a web wallet, and the domain for that is just omi.veve.me. You log into that with the same credentials that you log into your Veve account, your email and password. You will receive a 2FA email the same way as when you log into Veve. And through the web wallet, you can access your individual Omi wallet. Now, if you send your GoChain Omi to your Omi wallet, to your Veve Omi wallet, prior to the migration date, we will swap them for you. So this is your second option that is automatic and free. The key point of difference is that any Omi within the Veve app wallet will be swapped to Layer 2 Omi. Now, Layer 2 Omi lets you use those tokens within the Veve app when those features are enabled. So that's things like staking, the Omi drop raffle, peer-to-peer transactions in the market, and any other utilities that we add to the token. So just to reiterate there, if you send your tokens to an exchange prior to the migration date, it will be swapped to Layer 1. That lets you use them on exchanges. If you send your Omi tokens into the Veve app prior to the migration date, they will be swapped to Layer 2, which lets you use them within the Veve app. From the web wallet, we will also enable a bridge, which lets you deposit your tokens to Layer 2 or withdraw them to Layer 1. If you change your mind in the future, if your needs change or the way you would like to use your tokens changes, that is how you will move between layer 1 and layer 2. But there will be a gas fee involved in that transaction. So, the whole point of understanding these two options and the difference between layer 1 and layer 2 is really to help you save some money on gas. You can always change your mind later. You can always pay the network fees to move between each layer or each option. But if you think ahead and plan out your token strategy, you can save some money in the short term. The third option is our manual swap site. Now, I have just released instructions. They are on the Ecomi blog, which is medium.com/Ecomi. And it's a detailed walkthrough on how to use our manual token swap site. So this will pair directly with MetaMask, which means that in order to use it, you will also need to have your OMI tokens in your MetaMask account. And the manual swap site lets you swap directly from the GoChain OMI token to the new Ethereum OMI token. And for anybody who is holding the wrapped Ecomi token, or WOMI, the swap site will also let you swap directly from that to the new ERC20 OMI token. So once all of this is done, everybody will be using the same token on the same Ethereum network, and we'll say goodbye to our previous blockchain partner. Now, those instructions are on the blog. The swap site will not go live until the last week of January. We haven't announced the exact date yet. We will once we're closer to and have full confirmation from all exchanges. But just to make everybody aware, this is the only way that you can manually swap your tokens. It will be open indefinitely, so you don't need to swap them day one. You can swap your tokens in 6 months if you choose to. For a lot of people who are manually swapping, you may wish to wait until the Ethereum network isn't as congested, therefore paying a lower gas fee. But I just want to reiterate, this is the only way to manually swap your tokens. So anybody offering to swap them for you, any service claiming to do something similar is a scam. It is an absolute scam. We will never ask you for your private keys. You should never be giving anybody your private key. And for anybody new to crypto, that is the same as your seed phrase. Right? The 12-word phrase or 24-word phrase you set up when you set up a wallet. So always be conscious of nefarious actors, particularly when these things are taking place. And if you haven't seen those instructions, head to the Ecomi blog, which is just medium.com/Ecomi, and you'll see the detailed walkthrough there and all of those things. Now, who would actually want to manually swap their tokens? There's a few schools of people who would want to use this, right? The first one would be people who miss the migration window. Right? As much as we try to get this information into as many hands as possible, there will undoubtedly be some people who don't watch the charts every day, like the rest of us crazy people, and aren't as plugged in. So first and foremost, anyone who misses this migration window can use the swap site at any time in the future. Again, the second group of people would be if you are a holder of the wrapped OMI token. This is your way to swap them directly to the new ERC20 OMI token. And the third group of people are probably those who are a bit more security conscious, and don't mind paying that exorbitant gas fee to maintain their personal security. So even though exchange hacks are rare these days, they can still happen. Exchanges are a honeypot for hackers and malicious actors. So using the swap site would let you go directly from your own wallet, swap to the new ERC20 token, and bring it back to your wallet. So anyone who is not paranoid, but security conscious around leaving large sums of value on an exchange, or would rather not send their tokens to an exchange, the manual swap site is for you. But for most other users, sending them to an exchange before the migration or sending them into the Veve app before the migration is going to be the quickest, the easiest to understand, and the cheapest way to port those tokens over. So if you haven't seen any of the articles yet, there are 3 articles available on the blog. One literally says start here, and will give you a more detailed explainer of layer 1 and layer 2 and the differences there and what you can use your tokens for. The second article details your 3 swap options, as I've just reviewed, but if you would like more information about those, that's the place to go. And as I just mentioned, the third article will give you the detailed walkthrough on how to use the swap site. Now, when that site is live, I will also put together a video walkthrough. I know that obviously we have a multitude of language groups in our family, so hopefully that helps more people as well. And I just want to reiterate that you do not need to use the site the moment it opens. In fact, it is likely that it will be congested when it does open. So if you're not in a rush, if you're happy to hold your tokens for an extra day or two, I would personally recommend just holding off and letting that traffic die off before you commit your tokens. Outside of that, it probably wraps up most of the pertinent information that you need. And I'm happy to open it to the floor. We have about 50 minutes before Alex needs to get to another meeting. But hopefully by then we will cover all bases. And before we get there, I will just say we do have 3 more of these Q&A sessions. One on Monday in Veve Discord, another one on Wednesday next week on Ecomi Twitter Spaces, and on Thursday, thanks to our wonderful Spanish-speaking mods, we'll be hosting one for the Spanish-speaking family, also on Ecomi Twitter Spaces. So you are more than welcome to join any or all of those if you wish, but as I said, it will be much of the same information. Without further ado.
Yeah, thank you, Reese. Just quickly for everybody in the audience, I pinned 3 tweets up at the top here. The first one is the link to the blog with all 3 options to swap your OMI tokens. The second one is a schedule of the remaining sessions. So if you can't stay for all of this one, or you want to try to join another one just to make sure you get it all soaked in, please join us for a future one. It'll be all the same information. And the third one is the information on our Spanish session, hosted by John, who we have here on stage. What's up, John? How are you?
Doing well, doing well. How about you, Alex?
Doing well. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you really coming up to going up to bat for us
Absolutely.
Yeah, helping us out with the Spanish-speaking community, because my Spanish is terrible.
As is mine.
All good, all good. Next time when we see each other in person, I'll just speak directly in Spanish and expect you guys to respond.
I need the practice for sure.
Yes.
Okay. So, John, with that, I think while I get some people on stage, I know you had some questions from the community. Maybe you want to rehash one of the ones, the good ones you had from the last session, just to kind of get us moving here, and then I'll start bringing some people up.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So, Reese, as we discussed before, the difference between L1 and L2 and the value that, the Veve team, the Ecomi team saw in migrating into IMX, ETH Layer 2. Can you touch on that one more time? As you mentioned, we do have the article, but one of the things I see come up often within the community is the confusion between L1, L2 as it pertains to, are they 2 different coins? And well, obviously you and I know that they're not, but also how that may or may not impact the circulating supply. But again, as we said before, barrier of entry of crypto is low, Veve's reaching the masses. So if you could touch on that, that'd be great.
Yeah, not a problem. So I think I explained this the other day, is the easiest way to think of the difference between layer 1 and layer 2 is if you take your iPhone or your phone, and that is layer 1 Ethereum, right? That is the hardware, the infrastructure, all of those things. Layer 2 exists like an app on top of layer 1. And what it does is really using ZK rollups and ZK technology like IMX does, really improves the efficiency of transactions. So it allows them to bundle a larger volume of transactions off-chain and then commit that proof or that piece of information to the base chain, which in this example would be your iPhone, and that maintains the record of immutability. So really, layer 1 is the existing Ethereum blockchain, and layer 2 is a protocol or an app that lives on top of it. Now, the layer 2 that we have selected as our technology partner is Immutable X, and we've selected them for quite a number of reasons. First and foremost, those efficiencies much more environmentally friendly than running something like this on the base Ethereum chain. In fact, if we were to put Veve on layer 1 Ethereum, the app would not function. It can't process the transactions that we would need and for the volume that takes place on Veve. So instead, we are using a layer 2 solution. The second reason we chose Immutable X is that it does live on top of Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is the most, or maybe second to Bitcoin, but I think the most decentralized blockchain that exists. So that provides incredible security of your assets because the chain itself can't be breached or hacked. But it also gives us exposure for both Veve and the Omi token to one of the biggest communities that exist in crypto and increases our ability to integrate with that ecosystem. So at the moment, the Omi token is on GoChain. If we take exchanges for an example, it is quite difficult to integrate an entirely new blockchain on an exchange or on any protocol. Whereas moving to an ERC20 token makes that integration much more seamless, as all of these exchanges and networks already integrate with Ethereum. So that's probably the second core reason. And the third core reason is that being on Ethereum, which up until now really is and has been the home of NFTs, enables interoperability of our assets. So in layman's terms, that means that you will be able to send your Veve NFTs to other marketplaces. It opens that ecosystem up, whereas up until now, it has been a closed off and walled ecosystem. So they're the reasons we've selected IMX and made the choice to move to Ethereum. Now, you did have another part to that question, John, if you're still there. I think between the token difference between layer 1 and layer 2. I think we may have lost him if he's still in the crowd. So the Omi token is exactly the same. It can live on layer 1 or layer 2. It's governed by the same sort of smart contract. The only difference is what you can do with it on each layer. So when we port all of these tokens over, the circulating supply is the same regardless of which layer that token is on. It's only what you choose to do as an individual with your tokens that will dictate which layer you need those tokens on. Hopefully that answers that question.
All right. Yeah, I think, we did definitely lose him. So hopefully we can get him back. But in the meantime, let's move on to a question from the audience. Dave, you're up on stage. How you doing?
What's up, Alex? What's up, Reese? How you guys doing?
Welcome, Dave. Right. Well, mate.
Good. So I think, Reese, to me, everything you're saying makes obviously perfect sense. I'm a trader. I trade crypto. I think what the majority of the community, from what I've heard in terms of sentiment, is we have to be able to kind of dumb this down in a way to where using crypto terminology, because as much as we want people to, to really take to this, they're not going to, right? Because they're just so consumed with the app side and they're not focused on, and even no matter what size bag they hold of the Ecomi. So what I want to kind of confirm with you is, I think that differentiation between L1 and L2 makes sense. But number one, I want to confirm there's only one token, right?
Correct.
In the article, it said layer 1 Omi and layer 2 Omi. So I just want to confirm there's only one token. And then in regards to the centralized exchanges, is there something up? I don't want to put you guys in a position where it's an upcoming announcement, but if I'm keeping it on an exchange, right? Yes, from a security perspective, it's not as safe as it would be on in my Trustwallet or in my MetaMask. But is Veve or Ecomi, if there is an exchange hack or anything of that nature, you guys are not responsible, correct?
Correct. Okay. It is the exchange that is responsible, and I will just reiterate that this is one of the reasons that people may choose to use the swap site instead of sending their tokens to an exchange. Generally speaking, they're safe and it should be fine, but anyone who holds Omi may be aware that Ascendex, one of the exchanges that does provide Omi token trading, was breached 2 months ago or thereabouts. So it is still part of the industry, however rare. And any exploits that happen on that exchange that's the exchange's issue. That's not something that we manage. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to clarify that. And then my last question is, in regards to the 3 different options, right? Is there a preferred window of time, like for either option? Meaning, is each option going to begin at a certain date and time? When you announce the actual migration date, every option will have a fair chance at that migration, meaning the window will open. If I have it on an exchange, I'll be able to withdraw it at the exact date and time.
So, yes, there will be a date. And if you are sending to an exchange or sending into the Veve app, you will want to do that prior to the migration date. So we'll plant a stake in the ground and say, okay, this is the day we're going to swap the tokens, right? The token swap site, the manual swap, is open indefinitely. So there's no time scale there. You can swap those tokens in 3 months if you choose to. That one is open to you. Now, the exchanges themselves will set their own date. Right? We will say the swap site is open on this day. They may choose to pause all deposits and withdrawals from that day as well. They may give you an extra week. They may pause 2 or 3 days before that date. So if you're sending to an exchange, you can obviously send them there now. But if you're security conscious, you may want to wait just a little bit longer. But you will need to keep an eye on each individual exchange's notifications. They should have banners on there, where you go to deposit your OMI tokens to the exchange that will alert you to a coming migration, and they should set those dates. Now, it is pretty likely that exchanges will pause deposits, withdrawals, all trading while they manage the token migration, and that could be anywhere from 48 to 72 hours. It could be a little bit longer. So just be aware of that. If you send it to an exchange, they should alert you as to how long deposits and withdrawals will be paused, because they will then have to take those tokens and swap them and reattribute the new token to your account.
Gotcha. So I was asking more along the lines of, okay, right. So if you want to take it out of the account, if it's on an exchange, they're going to have the ability to say, nope, we're pausing the withdrawal. So you're kind of at their mercy. Whereas if it's in your wallet, is the token swap site going to be up? I guess what I'm asking is, are they all going to be eligible at the same time, barring what the exchange does from the Veve side?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Got
And
it.
if you want them in the Veve app to use with your tokens within the Veve app in the future, you just need to send them to your in-app OMI wallet before the migration date, because on that date, same thing, we will pause deposits and withdrawals and swap all those tokens over. And once they're swapped, they're swapped. There's no kind of swapping back to GoChain OMI or anything like that.
Is there any benefit to keeping them on the GoChain? I mean,
No.
I mean, no, right?
No. Everything is designed to move over. But the smart contracts will live on both blockchains until all tokens have been swapped. Because there is likely to be people who don't pay as much attention or aren't as plugged in. And 3 months from now, they may come to try and send their tokens to an exchange. The exchange will say, please only deposit the Ethereum OMI token, at which point they might realize, oh, okay, I need to swap my tokens to a new chain. So no, there's no advantage there. The only advantage to waiting on manually migrating is that you might be able to reduce the ETH gas fee that you pay. And just to reiterate, sending to exchanges or sending into the Veve app are free options and automatic. The exchanges or we will swap them for you. The token swap site is manual and will cost you ETH tokens in gas.
So that was great explanation. Thank you, Reese. I think it's also pertinent to note that, from a security standpoint, I think everybody should be security conscious.
Absolutely.
Just given what's been, the amount of hacks and everything that's out there, or scams, and you name it, like you mentioned. So it might be pertinent to pay that gas fee, right? To do a test transaction to make sure everything is functioning properly, and then ultimately migrate all your tokens over if you are security conscious. And my last question, sorry, I don't mean to hog.
That's fine.
This guy.
I apologize. In regards to you mentioned marketplaces, right? I recently saw that on Token Trove, on Layer 2, on IMX, you guys were going to be able to, there's a placeholder for the Veve logo. I'm curious, are we going to be on the IMX exchange as well as Token Trove? And what other marketplaces? And also what other marketplaces are potentially eligible for us and when?
Yeah, so I personally am not up to speed on the Token Trove thing. I'll have to look into that. But it's safe to assume that the IMX marketplace will be available as one of the early options. And I will just take this moment to reiterate that not all brands or products or licenses within Veve will be available to send to other marketplaces straight away. That's a licensor decision, and there's still quite a lot of legalese to be done to enable that. But it is one of the first integrations we are building back in once this migration takes place. So the IMX marketplace, it sounds like Token Trove if there's a placeholder there. And then, as everyone would probably hope, OpenSea is probably the next or the most prominent NFT marketplace. Now, I don't think that OpenSea have directly integrated on top of IMX yet. So we are still kind of waiting on that integration. But eventually, the intention is that this whole industry becomes much more open and marketplaces are free and easy to access. So that interoperability will continue to expand as we move forward.
Cool. All right, let's move on to Brennan. Brennan, what's up?
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Hey, Matt.
Just had a super quick question for you guys regarding the Ecomi Trust Wallet. I know we talked about it a little bit in the previous AMA. The update that's coming out to fix the gas fees, do you guys think that will be implemented before the swap for those of us that are kind of locked on there right now?
Yes, it has been submitted to app stores, and we're waiting on the app store overlords to approve. And as soon as it does, it will be available for you to update your app.
Perfect. That's all I got. Thank you guys so much.
No problem.
Thanks, Brennan. Greasy, what's up?
Hello.
Howdy.
Thank you for hosting these and educating us. It's been a great listen so far. Just wanted to ask you guys, I heard Trustwallet was mentioned in the last question. I think a lot of us are using that right now for personal security, of course, which is important. You mentioned that we should move it over prior to migration. If I want to move it to my Veve wallet, I would just go on my desktop, get my address, send my OMI tokens as early as now?
Yes. Yeah, you can do them now. Yeah, you can do them now. If you want to hold them for a few more days until we announce an exact sort of date for this to open, you can hold off. But that is, it's available to you anytime prior to the migration date. And as all good advice, send a small amount first, just to ensure that it arrives. And for anyone using Trustwallet, MetaMask, any personal wallet, in order to send your OMI tokens to your in-app wallet, you also need some Go tokens to pay gas on the GoChain blockchain. Now, one Go token, I think, will get you 5 transactions these days. So you really don't need much. I think they're 5 cents, 6 cents. I have a feeling to purchase them on exchanges, you will need to purchase maybe $5 or $10 worth. So I would suggest reaching out in the Ecomi Telegram first. Somebody may have some spare Go tokens. Shoot me a message. If I see a message, I'll shoot you one. But just to make people aware, if you're trying to send from Trust or your own wallets and it's not processing, you need Go for gas as well.
Cool. Thank you. And sorry, just please correct me if I'm wrong. When they are in the app and the migration is complete, I would then be able to move tokens freely, for example, to an exchange or to a Trust wallet or using the app through gasless transactions.
Yeah, no. So this is important for people to understand. If you put your OMI tokens in the Veve app and we swap them to layer 2, you can use them within the app. But to bring them back to your own wallet, say Trust Wallet, or to send them to an exchange, you will need to bridge, that's the crypto terminology, bridge them back to layer 1. Now, all that really means is that you are approving some transactions and it's going to withdraw your tokens from layer 2, which is Veve, deposit them back onto layer 1, which then lets you store them in your own wallets or exchanges. So if you send your tokens into the Veve app prior to the migration, it will cost you gas later to bring them back to layer 1 if you choose to sell them. And this is kind of why we're trying to, one, to educate people, but really just to get people to think ahead a little bit as to how you would like to use your tokens. Because while the option to bring them between each layer is always available, it will cost you gas each time you do it. So if you know you're going to stake some tokens in the Veve app, or you're holding for the long term and you want to use them to buy collectibles in the market when that's enabled, well, then you may send a larger portion of your tokens into the app before the migration and just leave them in your Veve app. If you know that you are going to look to trade your tokens or sell them in the future, then keeping them on layer one, which is swapping them to an exchange or keeping them in your own wallets, might be the best option for you.
Understood. I will send 10% of my tokens to the exchange to buy my spacesuit. So thank you very much, Reese.
No problem. And look, in the future, we're starting to see it now. A lot of exchanges are onboarding or integrating directly to layer two. So over the next year or two, this whole layer one, layer two conversation will probably be non-existent. You'll be able to withdraw from layer two to your wallets and all of those things, but it's not available yet because this is all brand new technology. So I just want to reiterate that, you will always have the option to bridge between layer one and layer two or swap between them, but it will cost you money to do.
All right, let's move on to Schemin' Demon.
Hello, how y'all doing? Omi Hodler and longtime Veve collector here. I listen to, the AMAs as frequently as I can. I definitely tuned into the first one regarding the token swap and whatnot. And I just can't help but to think, I don't know if it's wrong or unreasonable to ask, but I remember a few months ago, a few AMAs back, I don't remember if it was David, you, Crothers, or Reese himself, but they had mentioned that we can basically, upon the ERC 20 token swap being completed and it's running, we can essentially expect new exchanges immediately. So is it reasonable to ask, is that still the case? As soon as the ERC 20 token is complete, can we soon expect exchanges quite immediately? And if so, is it reasonable to ask which ones?
We will never reveal exchanges or anything like that because they are all governed by non-disclosure agreements. So if we were to open our mouths, we would lose the listing. Immediately, if you're expecting it the exact same day as we open the swap site, no, that won't happen. We need to get this behind us first.
Sure.
But as soon as we can migrate the company wallets and the bulk of the tokens over, yes, it makes life much easier to list on these exchanges. We have obviously been in many conversations with them over the past few months. So from that point, it's more a matter of where we fit in their queue. Exchanges are constantly listing new tokens and rolling out marketing plans around that. So as soon as we kind of fit in their schedule and can list, then that is absolutely the plan and intention. And I mean, obviously, guys, people want to list the token that is attached to all of the brands that we have and the user base. So yeah, that's we get the migration out of the way. That's my next bit, and then we'll all be very happy campers, I would think.
Awesome. I appreciate your time, gentlemen. Thank you.
Appreciate
That's all I
you
got.
too. Thanks, brother.
Right on.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Let's move on to Essentially Crypto.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
Hello, good sir. We can.
Marvelous. So, how are you?
Well.
Keep going, it's okay. Okay, first question is, you were talking about the bridge just a minute ago. So I just wanted to check, is the bridge actually done already, or is that a case of we send our things to the app? From what I could gather from what you were saying, it's not actually completed, so we'll send our stuff to there. But by the time the migration comes in, essentially, will that bridge to bring it back again be completed, or is that sort of another soon that's coming?
No, it's already been built. It's being tested and audited now, and that will be available through the web wallet, which again is omi.veve.me. And that's, as we move forward with the Veveverse and the kind of web version, the web wallet itself will become a much more prominent feature in our ecosystem. Now, I don't think we will switch it on or enable it the same day. Right? We don't want to confuse people. We don't want to have too many kind of pieces of the puzzle in play. So I think we'll open the migration. We'll do the automatic swap in the app and let it all take place. Once the dust settles there, the bridge will be open. So you will be able to bring them back to layer one or deposit them to layer two in the future, not long after the migration.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
You still there, Ian? Got any more? Or have we lost him?
All right. Sorry, Ian. Let's go on to Danny.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me. I just have a quick question for you guys. So the option that's more suitable to my needs will be to send back my tokens back to the exchange so the swap could be automatic and done by them. But upon doing it, with Bitforex, I'm getting an ERC20 wallet address from them to deposit my tokens back. And I'm just not understanding why I'm seeing that as of yet if the migration hasn't happened.
You're seeing an ERC20 address now on Bitforex?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes. Trust me, I looked and I tried doing it by myself before I even spoke up here, and I've been asking on the Discord, but it
So
said ERC20.
I'm looking at Bitforex right now, and if I
Yep.
look to deposit OMI tokens,
Mhm.
I select OMI, and then it says chain name, and the only option available is Go. So
Really?
yes.
Okay.
So
Okay, so I'll
just check that. What you might be seeing, GoChain and Ethereum use the same root address. So a GoChain address looks exactly the same as an Ethereum address. It starts with 0x and then the string. So just confirm the chain there.
but it still shouldn't say ERC20, correct?
Correct. I'm looking at Bitforex right now, and I cannot see anything about ERC20.
Okay, perfect. Then I'll double check that. Thank
So
you
just
so much.
double check the chain name. Yeah, no problem. And just to clarify on that, so prior to the migration date, or whichever migration date the exchange sets, you will send your GoChain OMI tokens in. They will swap them to the Ethereum OMI. And at least as I understand it, then you will only be able to send in Ethereum OMI tokens, or the ERC20, right? They should remove the ability to send your GoChain OMI and give you the ability to send your ERC20 OMI. They won't have both trading concurrently. Now, once the swap is done by the exchanges, and if it's on an exchange, it's on layer 1, you can withdraw that back to your Trust wallet or back to your normal Ethereum wallet and use the tokens as you do now. So just good to be aware of that too. Once the swap happens, they don't need to just live on the exchange.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you, Danny.
Chico the Man, what's up?
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
We got you.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Okay, hi everyone. Hi Veve fam. How you all doing?
Doing good, mate.
Yeah, I just had a quick question in terms of the web wallet, because I had just a tiny amount in there. It was just to try. There was about 3,000 in there, and I sent some more, and the original amount disappeared. So my question is there like a maximum amount you can send to the wallet at the moment? Is it capped or?
No, there's not a maximum amount. It's not capped. The 3,000 or so OMI that you had in there, did you send that in there originally, or was it just in there?
No, it just built up over time. I don't know why, but
okay.
Yeah,
I
it
can
just kind
explain
of appeared
why.
there.
I can explain why. So in the earliest version of the app, when someone bought an NFT from the store, the equivalent amount of OMI moved from the reserve through your wallet, through the user's wallet, which was how we generated the transaction ID, and then would go to the burn wallet, the out of circulation wallet. Now, what happened when our user base increased drastically, sort of March, April last year, is that everything got stuck. So those OMI tokens that were in your wallet were actually representative of the dollars you had spent on a collectible. They just got locked there as the system kind of jammed up. So once that queue was cleared, those tokens made their way to the burn wallet, but they weren't actually your tokens.
No, I
kind
kind of gathered they'd magically appeared there. So
yeah. People thought, it was one of those.
Oh well, I'm not missing them too badly. I'm not missing them too bad.
No, that's it. So
all right, nice one. Thanks, Reese. Thank you.
Problem.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a great day.
Thanks,
nice
Chico.
One. Cheers, mate.
All right, let's try CVV again.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Thank you, first of all, for hosting this info session. I have a quick two-part question. My first question is this. If you currently already have OMI within the exchange, for example, BitForex, is there anything else you need to do? I mean, I
No,
keep hearing, no. Okay,
no.
great.
If it's already there,
Yes, you have
it will
OMI.
happen for you. Yeah, it will
Perfect.
happen for you. Yeah.
Awesome. And the second part, and then you kind of touched on it when you talked about bridging. So let's say, for example, a person has OMI currently in the exchange layer one. Maybe they're not quite ready to move it over to the staking because there's so much you have to stake. So maybe you're trying to move a little bit at a time. Are you saying we will be able to move that from, for example, BitForex over time outside of this migration window?
Absolutely. Yeah. And that will
Okay.
happen through the web wallet. We've built an interface that will pair with your MetaMask, and I will
Mhm.
put out detailed instructions on how
Okay.
to do that. But yes, you can always deposit them later to Veve.
Okay.
It's still going to be a little while before some of those OMI features are available in the app. So, if you'd prefer to have that access to be able to trade them in the meantime, I would say, keep them on layer one. And once those features are available, or whichever features you would like to use in the Veve app that use OMI, you can deposit them into your app later.
Got it. And then down the road, I guess it'll be available. So let's say now that you've moved your OMI into the Veve app, which is layer two, but you want to move it out, you're saying there's a mechanism that you're going to have to bridge it back from layer two to layer one and then move it out?
Correct.
Got it. And is this in the article, by the way, the blog?
It's not. I haven't put the bridging instructions in there. So far,
Okay.
it's got the how to use the manual swap for the migration, and then once we're closer to it or it's complete, I'll put out a detailed walkthrough and video instruction on how to bridge as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys and gals.
Yeah,
Whoever's in here.
absolutely.
Thank you. All right.
Appreciate
Bye.
it. Thank you.
All right, let's move on to human.
Greetings, VVIPs.
Greetings.
Actually, don't have a question. I'm actually here to help. I know that sounds like a surprise.
Okay.
But let's simplify the layer one, layer two.
Mm-hmm. Did we lose him there?
Are you asking us to simplify it, or you were going to simplify it? I think we
might have lost him. For anyone who's having sound issues, Twitter released an update earlier today, so you may need to update your app. I think it fixes a number of these kind of connection bugs. I know, looks like Ian's back up, essentially crypto as well, so we'll try to bring you back up, good sir, if we can.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I think maybe Twitter's having some issues right now. Ludwig.
Hey guys, thanks for having me up. Sorry if you've already covered this, but had a quick question too, actually. First one is I successfully transferred all of my OMI from my Trustwallet to Gate, and you're right, it only cost me like 0.15 Go token, so it was cheap to transfer. My question is, once those get converted to ERC20, is there going to be a standard gas fee to transfer them back off of Gate to my Trustwallet?
That is set by Gate. It's set by the exchange themselves. So it will depend on whatever they choose to set as their withdrawal fee.
Okay, and that withdrawal fee could either be OMI or Ethereum, depending on what they charge?
From the exchange, it should be OMI.
It should be OMI. Okay.
Yeah, it should be OMI. Yeah, it's usually a portion. Some will set an OMI price. Some will set, it might be based on a dollar value or the network congestion, but it should be an OMI. Yeah.
Okay, and the price could be different whether you're on Gate or BitForex or whatever?
Yes, yeah, purely because each exchange can set their own withdrawal. Even now, if you were to withdraw from Gate, their withdrawal fee on GoChain might be different to BitForex's withdrawal fee. That's really set by the exchange themselves.
Gotcha. Thank you for that. And one follow-up question, and you may have already covered this in an AMA, but do I understand correctly that if I want to be able to accept OMI for an NFT in the app, I need to do something. Do I need to do something specific before I have the ability to do that? Or is that only dependent upon the person paying? They have to have the layer 2 OMI
That's
in the app.
correct. That's correct. For you to accept payment in OMI, the other person has already deposited to layer 2, and it will go to your in-app OMI wallet, which is already living on layer 2. If you would like to purchase collectibles from someone else using OMI, then you also obviously need OMI tokens on layer 2. So that can be tokens that you yourself bridge and deposit, or it can be tokens that you have accepted as payment that you then use to transact with.
Okay, so I wouldn't need to stake OMI or anything in order to have the ability to buy and sell with OMI on the app.
So as part of the OMI utility program, at least version 0.1 that is available, yes, that is the case. We did have a staking requirement to be able to use OMI in the app, but after quite overwhelming community feedback, we are looking to repeal that and open access to everybody to transact with OMI. So keep an eye out for version 2 of the OMI utility program, and that will give you much more accurate figures as to sort of what needs to be staked for each tier or to access those benefits, and will give you a better idea of how much or if you need to stake for the features that you would like to use.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time. You guys are doing great work.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Let's move on to homie Sparkman. Homie.
Hey, Ecomi team. Thanks for your time. My question is going to be, after we transfer our OMI tokens to ERC20, are we going to have to manually add the new ERC20 OMI to Trustwallet before we then withdraw it back to Trustwallet? Also, for the Ecomi Secure Wallet, will it automatically be set up for the new ERC20 OMI?
Yes. So I don't personally use Trustwallet, but maybe you can answer this for me. Do you need to add individual token contract addresses if you send a new token to Trustwallet?
Yes, you do.
Yes.
I've had to add a Go20 OMI in order to store it there.
Cool. So I would assume it's the same process. And the new ERC20 OMI token contract address is inside that manual token swap instruction. That was quite a mouthful. The instructions that are on the blog have the new token contract address, so you can add it to Trust now, essentially. Now, what I will say to people, if you are using Trust in particular, and the same does apply to the secure wallet, once you add that token contract address, you're going to have both tokens live on your Trust wallet. So you need to be really careful. Once you have migrated your tokens, or we have for you, you have to make sure that when you're sending them back to your Trust wallet, you're sending it to the new ERC20 address and not the old GoChain address. Right? Now, if you send all of your tokens out at once, say to an exchange, you can just switch off the GoChain OMI option. Right? You can toggle it off, and that will probably help you to make sure that you don't send it to the old wallet address. So something to be aware of there. Similarly, with the secure wallet, both the new ERC20 OMI token and the existing GoChain OMI token will be available on the wallet. And that is because you can swap your tokens at any time through the manual swap site. So we need to keep those contracts live and that support available until all of the OMI tokens in circulation have been migrated. So just be aware of that when you're returning tokens to your own wallets. Make sure you're sending them to the new ERC20 OMI token wallet instead of the old GoChain one. And I might just take a moment just to reiterate, because I do know a few people who have made this mistake. When you're adding a new token contract to Trustwallet or to any wallet, ledger or anything, a lot of people end up mixing up the token contract address with their wallet address. Now, if you send a token to the contract address, you are effectively burning your tokens. We don't have access to them. You're kind of sending them to a null address, and you lose them, right? So very important, one, to make sure you're entering the wallet address, not the token contract address when you're sending tokens back. And two, always double, triple, quadruple check those addresses just to make sure. And as we always recommend, send a small test amount first. I know it might cost some in gas, but you'd rather lose a little bit of money in gas than lose all of your funds to the wrong address. So just some good practice there.
All right, I appreciate the answer. I mean, I hope everybody pays attention because, I mean, let's say somebody withdrew their ERC20 OMI back to their GoChain OMI wallet. You know, what happens to that OMI? It's gone, isn't it? Or
yeah, look, in any normal circumstance, it probably would be. Now, in the case of Trust and those wallets, because Ethereum and GoChain use the same root address, there may be recourse there. There may be a way to kind of return those tokens to you because they're all governed by the same private key or seed phrase. But trust me when I say you just don't want to go down that road. You know, it would take a lot of work with trust support. There's a lot more understanding there to be able to kind of re-access the UXTO. Yeah, it's messy. So just you're better off being careful and doing it right than rushing and hoping that you can recover them.
all right, appreciate it.
Thanks, brother.
All right, thank you. Let's move on to Veve Meister.
Hey guys, Veve Meister here. Hi, the German guy. Hey, I was listening very carefully to the first info session, Reese, and I think I got the gist of it. And I will probably listen to the third, the fourth one, and even the Spanish one because I just enjoy so much listening to your voice. I'm sure you're not the first one to tell you this. Alex as
Thanks,
well,
mate.
of course. Hey, I have a question. So I was hesitant up until now to send something to my Veve wallet.
Mhm.
Why? Because I thought that it's not working properly, buggy. Why am I saying that? I have for the longest time now like 70K OMIs lying there, and I cannot remember that I ever put anything on it. So maybe was airdropped by you guys because I'm such a loyal customer, but I think there's something else going on, right?
For sure. So
Yeah.
to confirm your balance there, copy your OMI address and look at it on the GoChain block explorer. That's explorer.gochain.io. That will give you your actual token wallet balance. Now, this is likely to be the same issue that I touched on earlier, where the original way that we generated a transaction ID was that OMI tokens moved from the reserve wallet through your wallet and onto the burn wallet. Now, once we refactored everything, that wasn't the case. But for some users, it sounds like yours, it's still displaying a balance that isn't actually there. So I would just say to probably open a support ticket so that they can clear that cache and clear the balance there. But checking your address on the GoChain block explorer will tell you what your balance is if there are any tokens actually sitting there. But it's likely that there's not. It's just a display bug.
All right. So you think if I send like a really small amount, 10 or 100 OMIs, that it will reset it and then it will show my actual amount?
Yeah. It sounds like it did for the gentleman we were speaking to earlier. So that could definitely work too. Yeah.
All right.
Good.
My second question is that I have about the OMI utility article. Will we get it in time so that we know actually how much we should send to our own Veve wallet? You know, the third, fourth, fifth tier or something.
Yeah. So I am pushing Mr. Dan to get me his models together so that I can release the next stage of that. I think the tiers themselves will stay as they are, the pricing. So we have $1,000 worth of OMI, 5,000, 10,000. For any whales out there, I think, you know, these aren't exact numbers, but it's pretty safe to assume we'll probably have two higher tiers at the moment. For all intents and purposes, let's say one will be 25,000 and one will be 50,000. So if you have that bigger bag and you're looking to stake that much, that's probably the number I would work on. But we're going to try and get this utility program article out as soon as possible, so that everyone has this, everyone can plan accordingly, basically.
All right, sounds great. On a side note, this second question was asked by my mate. Shout out to him. He's actually from the Switzerland, Luke. And just for you to know what's happening in Europe in the German community space. So the first time I talked to you on an AMA, it was a few months back. We were maybe like 300 people in the Telegram group. Now we are well above 1,100, and this group started in March with 3 or 4 guys, which I'm an admin at, so that you have just a slight picture of what's going on in Germany. We are growing, we are getting there, man.
Amazing,
Awesome.
amazing. How do I say congratulations in German? Glückwunsch?
Glückwunsch, jawohl, Glückwunsch, sehr gut.
Ah, there you go.
Well done.
Congrats.
Thank you guys for your
Nice.
answers. Talk to you
No
soon.
worries.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you, Meister.
Thank you.
All right, we got
Bye.
Reese, unless you want to keep taking this on, I got maybe time for 1 or 2 more. We'll go ahead and move on to Sandy.
Hey, so my question, you might have already covered it, is if we take our OMI and put it onto the Veve app, what kind of security is there going to be if we're leaving it on there? Let's say I do get compromised and the OMI's gone. Who covers that to make sure we get it back?
If your individual account is compromised, as in someone has your password or access to your account, that is your liability. So we manage the security of your tokens of the wallets, of the private keys that govern those wallets. But you've raised a really good point, and we should reiterate that people need to be treating their phone, their Veve app, their OMI wallets, their logins, their passwords as you would any financial app or services. So that means logging out each time if you are that security conscious. That means having PIN codes on your own phone, and not having, not leaving your email app open for the 2FA and those kind of things. So if somebody manages to get access to your Veve account and your email to get that 2FA, that liability is your own. That's not our domain. Yeah.
But if it happens to to y'all itself, like if y'all got hacked somehow and they came through and took all the OMI, then what happens?
That would be our liability. That would be our liability.
So we would get it back.
Yeah, we would have some form of recourse there, but that's not a concern.
That was my main thing, is because I want to put it on there for staking and buying and all that.
Sure.
So feeling good because I don't plan on selling my OMI, so I want to put it on there. So that's all I had. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right. I had somebody else up here, but looks like they got rugged. So let's hopefully we can move on to one more.
Yeah, we'll take one more with you. I'm happy to stick around for another half hour or so anyway and take some of these. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you can bring up Kay so he doesn't think he's being ignored by me. But he came up last time, so I'm just trying to get new voices.
That's fair. It looks like Ian's back as well, essentially Crypto, who got cut off earlier.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay. Sorry. TK's having trouble connecting. So let's throw him a bone here.
Mr. K, have we got sound?
I think he's still connecting. K, there?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
What is it this time, Mr. K? Let's go. Give us a good community question.
I've returned. Yeah, I think
man of the people.
Yeah, I think Twitter might rug pull me again. Like, it's been super unstable. It just keeps disconnecting me. I guess kind of like you guys actually covered one question I was going to ask is kind of the additional staking tiers. The kind of, I guess, building a little bit on that is I'm quite a big fan of the OMI to NFT concept, specifically kind of the reduction in transactional fees. So just to kind of like, I guess, clarify for everyone, because I'm sure you guys have seen all the conspiracy theories and FUD around the MTL, charging like 50% cash out or whatever, like people have been going on about. So, I've kind of been educating people a bit more about, and this kind of goes on to the point of when I think Dan in the last AMA said, we never intended to have cash out. I think that was like a poor phrasing. I think it was mainly the intention was OMI cash out, not the fiat system. So I thought that was good to clarify. So with OMI, if I was to say purchase a collectible using OMI, is there a 2.5% burn fee there? And if so, through the staking tier, I believe the maximum tier, does that then get reduced to, I believe, 0.25%? And if so, are there plans for a further reduction on the higher tiers that you alluded to?
Yes, yeah, that is the plan. Obviously, the point of staking, and just quickly, Alex, if you need to jump out of here, feel free.
Yeah, I'm going to bounce. Thanks, everybody.
No worries. Thank you for coming. Really appreciate it. The idea behind the staking program, other than locking up sort of circulating supply, and is to give you as a token holder access to an exclusive range of benefits or collectible drops or rarities or things like that. Now, the secondary point of that is to try and incentivize people or encourage people to stake more OMI, right? For the same reasons, the benefits are greater, the effect on the general tokenomics is greater, and as part of that, yes, the fee will be reduced the higher tier that you are staking. Right? Talking, the tens of thousands of dollars worth of OMI, that is benefiting everybody in the ecosystem or everybody holding the token. And you want those incentives to be strong enough to motivate people with big bags to want to hold that supply out of circulation. So, yep, that's definitely the intention. And any sort of fees that are imposed there will reduce as the tier value increases.
Awesome. Just to quickly clarify, so when we're talking about OMI to NFT, we're talking about the secondary market, but I know it was also alluded to.
Might have got rugged there, Kay. We may have lost him. I might see if we can reconnect Kay for a second. Bear with me, team. He did get rug pulled, yes. Sorry.
I was just saying, I know it's also been alluded to that we'll have the ability to use OMI on the primary market. Now, I understand the problem with that is if you get OMI, you can't go sell it and then pay the licensors that way, because that's going to put negative buy pressure on the token. But will we have any form of primary market sale that maybe we could see on the Veve app? Because I know you guys said that mainly it'll be kind of more centered around Veve based IP, which I think we'll see more on like the Veveverse side. But specifically with the Veve app, will we see any potential primary market sales where we can use OMI?
There's always potential for these things, for sure. As you just said, I think initially anything like that would be our own branded things. It makes it easier than having to sell down the token, right? And everything we do, we're trying to put positive pressure on the token as opposed to us needing to sell it down to pay licensors and all of that. But we are definitely working on some mechanisms to try and make that available in the store as well. That's definitely part of the plan there. But initially, and for the short term future, all those OMI to NFT transactions are peer to peer. They're in the market, so that's where you'll primarily be using them.
Awesome. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I had to go through. So yeah, hopefully a lot of people give up on the MTL FUD of like 50% cash out fees and whatnot.
You're dreaming. People give up on FUD? Come on. It's too much fun. It's too much fun. All right, I'm going to bring a few more people up to the stage, and we will probably go for another 30 minutes or so. Just to reiterate, if anyone has joined us recently, in the last sort of 30 or 40 minutes, there is a recording of our first Q&A session available in the Veve Discord server. We will also be running 3 more of these sessions next week. So the first one next week will be Monday, January 17 at 10 a.m. PT, and that will take place in the Veve Discord server. For anyone unfamiliar with the server, there is a Clubhouse voice chat channel, and that's where it will take place. I think it's just labeled Clubhouse. We'll also do another one on Ecomi Twitter Spaces Wednesday next week. So Wednesday, January 19 at 2 p.m., the same time as today. And the following day, Thursday, January 20, we're running one of these Q&As in Spanish for any of our Spanish-speaking family, thanks to John and Wendy, who will be assisting with that. And that will also take place on Ecomi Twitter Spaces, so just here. But outside of that, let's see who we can bring up here. There are a few requests, but I think people are being rug pulled. Blockchain, can you speak?
Hey, Reese, how you going?
Very
Hey,
well.
just a quick question following up from what Sandy said earlier about the security of the Veve app. Are you looking at adding an additional 2FA to the app, like Google Authenticator?
Yep. So it's definitely on the list. I won't lie to you in saying it's top priority at the moment.
Good.
And there's a few reasons for that. Really, it doesn't actually offer more security than an email 2FA, right? Although people are more comfortable with it, or people in crypto, if I have access to your phone and your Veve app, I theoretically also have access to your Authenticator app, right? So it's not necessarily creating a new layer of security there for you. And this is why we reiterate that people need to be security conscious of their phone, of what they leave open on their phone, access to it, those kind of things. Now, it's on the list, right, that to be able to use the fingerprint scanner, the face IDs, the authenticator, that kind of thing. But for us, with a majority mainstream audience, the email 2FA is the simplest to understand and the most ubiquitous across all sort of cultures and language groups. So it will remain the primary 2FA method at the moment, but we will look to build in other ways to authenticate, really just to cater for people who are more comfortable using Authenticator or one of those things.
Okay,
no
thanks.
Problem.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Let's see. Ian, can you are you back on stage and can you speak? Or have you been rug pulled by Twitter? Again, guys, if anyone can't actually speak on stage, you may need to update your Twitter app. I think they released a few updates earlier today. But if you are not there, Ian, who have we got here? No credits left. Have you got sound there?
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, we've got you there.
Excellent. Kiwis Unite. Hey, I had a query about staking, and I'm sorry for those listening if it's already been answered. I wanted to shift. Am I right in saying I shift my OMI from Bitforex into the app, and I can stake from within there? Is that correct?
Correct, yeah. So you'll shift from, say, Bitforex to the app. We will swap the tokens for you when the migration takes place. And they can just live in that wallet until the staking features are enabled. And once they're enabled, you can opt to stake, yeah.
And if I leave some of those on Bitforex, then they will transfer them to the ERC20?
Correct. And they will be on layer 1, which lets you continue to use them on the exchange.
Yeah, nice. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Keep up the good work.
No problem. Thank you. Ian, Essentially Crypto, I think we connected you a second ago.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work again, but I'll
we'll find out.
Everyone else does. I'm going to ask my two questions very quickly, and then that way you can answer them afterwards. And if I do get rugged, at least I can listen to it on Cavell or Hello K's channel. So, right, okay, here we go. So the first thing is, when it comes to sell on the exchange, will they accept the old OMI? So I'm talking like if it's like a year down the line or something, can we send our old Go OMI to an exchange and then they would accept it, or would we have to transfer it and convert it first? So that's the first question. And the second question is, will the Veve app, or maybe the web wallet, I guess, will it ever be compatible with a hardware wallet?
Okay, so first question, if it's a year later or something like that, no, you will not be able to send your GoChain OMI tokens to the exchange, right? Once the migration takes place, the exchanges will pause trading withdrawals until they swap the token. From that point on, you will only be able to send the new ERC20 token. So if you miss the migration window, and you miss sending them to the exchange before the exchange itself decides to swap the tokens, you will have to use our manual swap site to convert them to the new ERC20. Then you'll be able to deposit them to exchanges again. So one thing to be aware of. The second thing, will the Veve web wallet pair to a hardware wallet? Yeah, I think so. The Veve web wallet at the moment is designed to directly interface with MetaMask. We will probably look to integrate other Web3 wallets as we move forward. And as any of you may be aware, you can already link your ledger, for example, some hardware wallets to your MetaMask. So in theory, you can already do it. But we will look to obviously hopefully integrate a secure wallet and other wallet access as we move forward. Did that answer your question, Mr. Ian? And are you still there, or have you been rugged? Rugged. Okay, I'm going to bring a few more up. Takeshi Young, if you are connected, feel free. You connecting there? Takeshi, I cannot hear you. I don't know if a microphone enabled. We might go to Dave, and then we'll come back.
Hey, Reese.
Hey.
So I just wanted to clarify a couple of things. So one, in regards to the wallet, right? Like as of right now, the swap site is only integrated for MetaMask, but for those that are using Trustwallet, I think it's pertinent to clarify, if you're only using Trust, if you're using Trust and the swap site can only, is going to ask you for your MetaMask wallet, and you're not integrated with Wallet Connect, then you're not going to be able to swap. So you're going to have to ultimately either bring over your Trust wallet or import your Trust wallet into MetaMask, or create a new MetaMask wallet and move your tokens to that address, correct?
Correct. We did try to integrate Wallet Connect, but I think there was an issue with GoChain or something like that just didn't quite do it for us. So yes, very good point. If you are using Trust Wallet or the secure wallet or any other wallet that you control the private keys for, and you want to use the manual swap site, which is chainswap.ecomi.com, you will need to send your tokens to your MetaMask address, and then you can interface with the token swap site.
Got it. And then the second one, the second question I have for you is, right now, so OMI to NFT, right? I want to just confirm that obviously, like, we're going to wait for version 2.0, right, or 0.2, right, of the OMI utility program to see exactly what that's going to do. But in regards to the burn mechanism, I want to just confirm that the burn mechanism does not change in regards to the original white paper, correct? Like in regards to how the OMI is burned and where
No.
What's happening to it?
All the same token processes. We migrate all the company wallets, and all of those token flows remain the same. Yeah.
Got it. Oh, sorry. Last question. Token IDs. When are we going to get to see token IDs on the Mutascan?
Token ID. Oh, you mean when will you be able to see the images? Or
yeah.
Because at the moment you can search your in-app OMI wallet on the Mutascan and see the tokens there, the token numbers. To provide the imagery, the metadata, we need to build in some APIs and create a link to our databases there for all that kind of stuff. It's on the list, but this is kind of a bigger order task to get done first. So hopefully before long, we'll see them there.
So I mean, if I put my wallet address in there though, and I'm just going to see random token IDs,
correct,
right? Like,
correct.
Can we just get like a map without you guys having to do the legwork? Like, can we just get a map of what the token ID is? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a secret rare Spider-Man collectible.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I think that's super important to know. Otherwise, it kind of renders the Mutascan useless. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously not as fun at the moment, but then you just open your Veve app and you can see what you've got. I know what you're saying and where you're coming from, but it will all be part of the same integration. It has to pull that data from our databases. So. Hopefully it's on the list and gets done before long, but I think we can all agree that these kind of the migration and things are due to take priority first.
100%. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Stephen G, have you got Twitter access? Perhaps not. Okay. Takeshi, I'm just going to bring you up again, and we'll see if we can.
Hello.
There we go.
Hello.
Stephen, yep, we've got you there, and then Takeshi will throw to you. Just go for it, Stephen.
Hey, what's up? I just want to see, is it possible to send the OMI from Trustwallet and send it to Coinbase if I have some IMX there already?
No. The OMI token right now, and the OMI that you have on your Trust wallet is on GoChain. So it doesn't matter that IMX is on Coinbase because our token is not on IMX or not on Ethereum. Post-migration, if exchanges choose to integrate us, then yes. But For an exchange to integrate a token, say the OMI token, they need to be able to generate a multitude of wallet addresses, linked to that token. So even though we will be on IMX, or Veve is on IMX, the token itself is on Ethereum, right? So it's a different it's a different integration to make that simple.
Gotcha. So what's the easiest way to get GoChain on my Trustwallet? To
get Go tokens, you mean? To use for gas?
Yeah.
Probably just ask in the Ecomi Telegram community. You might get lucky. If you shoot me a message on Ecomi Telegram, I have a bag on there that I can shoot to your address. So just send me a DM with your GoChain address, and I'll fire one out. That goes for everybody until I run out of GoChain, obviously. But if anybody just needs one token or half a token just to use for gas for one or two transactions like this, I'm more than happy to send some your way.
So I just DM you?
Just shoot me a DM. Yep, and once I go through, I'll
to where exactly do I DM you?
On Ecomi Telegram, or just message me on Twitter if you'd like. My handle is Ecomi_Reese, RHYS. If you don't follow me, and I'll send out Go tokens until I run out.
RES what?
Ecomi_RHYS is me on
RHYS.
Yeah, if you search that Ecomi_Reese, you should find me on Twitter and be able to shoot me a message. But otherwise, the Ecomi Telegram fam probably has a bunch as well for anyone who wants their tokens a little quicker.
Yeah, it doesn't let me DM you.
Okay, that's fine. Hit me on Telegram. Actually, I'll just
Telegram.
Yeah, Telegram would be the easiest, I think.
All right.
I would say.
Okay, and then once I have that to send it, I just send it to my Veve app.
That's up to you. So what you do with your tokens from this point is up to you for the migration. So just to explain again, you can send them to the Veve app, and we will automatically swap them for you. And you can then use them in the Veve app when OMI features are enabled. In the meantime, you can just leave them there. You can store them in your Veve app wallet. Your second option.
How exactly do I find my wallet address?
Okay, are you an Android or an iOS user? iOS. Okay, you need to use the web wallet. So anyone who uses iOS or Apple can access their OMI wallet by going to our web wallet, which is omi.veve.me. And if you log in there with the same credentials you use for your Veve account, just email and password, and I will just say, make sure you're entering your email. Some people enter their username and hit me up for support. So email and password, you'll put in the 2FA code, and you'll see there that you have an OMI wallet address linked to your account. So that's what you're looking for.
Okay, cool.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
No problem at all. Okay, guys, we'll go for another, I'd say 10 minutes, 12 minutes. And just to reiterate, we do have 3 more of these sessions, and there is a recording available. Propagandist, you are on the stage. If you've got it, go for it.
Hey, how's it going? Great work, and a lot of questions being answered. Appreciate that. I want to give you a break from all of the technical stuff and ask you a pretty straightforward yet abstract question. When it comes to OMI and using it on the Veve app in the future, let's say I move in some OMI on the app and I'm interacting with the market, going through the process, and I buy some collectibles of OMI, I sell some for OMI. I want to take my OMI off of the platform into a private wallet. Does that involve a KYC event, or is that just pretty straightforward?
It involves a bridge. So if you're selling things in the app and getting that OMI or whatever, to withdraw them back to your own wallet or to send them to an exchange, you will have to bridge, which just means withdraw from layer 2 to layer 1, which will also happen through our web wallet. So that will interface there. So that's the process. So if you're using it in the app and then later you want to use it on an exchange or trade them or anything, you just need to withdraw them to layer 1, and I'll release a detailed walkthrough on exactly how to do that. So once it's in the Veve app, just to reiterate for everyone, once your tokens are in the Veve app and they have been migrated to the new Ethereum OMI, you cannot withdraw them directly to your own wallet. You have to bridge back to layer 1 before you can withdraw, or before you can store them elsewhere.
Right, of course.
Yep.
Makes sense, but just in between there, no KYC, right?
Not to my knowledge, no. It will depend.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that. I'll have to confirm it, because for the MTL, there is
Gotcha.
definitely KYC. You know what? From here, I think there will be a KYC. I think it's probably safe to assume anything to do with financial transactions, there will have to be some level of KYC, the same way an exchange does, because we are essentially providing financial services.
Right. I think we're kind of going down that road. That's why I wanted to ask and confirm, because obviously there's, people have OMI, from what I understand, which I don't personally, but I know that, we've been talking about it all night, that people have OMI on the app, in that wallet. But let's just say when MTL does come, that, let's say I do not interact with any collectibles with the app, I don't buy or sell anything for OMI, and I just want to remove my OMI off of the app where it's just been sitting and doing nothing, will I be forced to KYC in order to remove it?
Yeah.
Right. So it seems like that would be a yes. So for people that maybe don't, for whatever personal reason, do not want to KYC, it might behoove them to also consider,
for sure,
what they want to do with that OMI when that comes online, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I would say the likeliest event will be that if you have not transacted in OMI, or you don't want to enable those features, you'll be able to just use it as a normal wallet. But for anyone who wants to transact with OMI or the same as dollars, there will be some form of KYC there. But if you've sent it in there and you're doing nothing with it and you've never done anything, maybe there's a bit of a grey area there. But I'll confirm that once it's all kind of said and done.
Thanks, Reed.
No problem. Appreciate it. Takeshi.
Hey guys,
hey,
can you hear me?
We've got you now.
Cool. I just had a quick question. I was wondering, so if I have all my OMI in the Veve app on layer 2, is that considered outside of the circulating supply, regardless of whether I'm staking or not?
No. I mean, it's technically still in circulating. You can bridge it back to layer 1 and use it. Obviously, it's being held out of supply, but it's not. There's not going to be like a tracking metric to say this is how many are on layer 2 or this is how many are on layer 1.
Okay, thanks.
How you doing? Just to piggyback on the very last question, I got here a little later, so you may have answered, so please excuse me.
No problem.
So you said when we do want to withdraw from the Veve wallet, it will bridge back to layer 1. So is that layer 1 on Go, or is it going to be layer 1 ETH?
ETH. Once this migration takes place, we say goodbye to Go altogether.
Okay. Perfect. No, that was it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. That's easy. Who else have we got up here? No credits. I think we've already spoken to you. I might just bring a few more up, and probably got another 10 minutes, guys. Len, if you want to jump up, and then we might go the Intergalactic Planetary Babies, just because I really enjoy that name. Lenny, you got a sound there, mate? Doesn't sound like it. Intergalactic Planetary Babies. Have you got a microphone working there? Again, guys, if I can't hear you, it may be that you need to update your Twitter app. They did make some updates earlier today, or released some. I've just brought a few more up. All right, I can hear someone's sound there. Homie.
Oh, hi there. Can you hear me? Is that okay?
Yep.
Thanks, Reece. Yeah, cheers, guys. Just a quick question, actually. I think we may have nearly touched on it earlier. But just with regards to when we're transferring the OMI over to the Veve app, obviously Android users can view those tokens, I believe, immediately on the app. And I just wondered, in terms of iOS users, are the plans afoot to be able to allow something similar? And if so, is that required in order to use some of the the staking and the utility on that?
Yeah, so not at the moment. Originally, 12 months ago, 18 months ago, we did have that in there, but the Apple overlords don't approve of these things. So iOS users have to use the web wallet. Now, the intention there is that a lot of the user experience will start to run through the web platform as well, particularly as the web platform goes live. And it is from the web wallet that staking and those kind of things will be available. So even though the Omi wallet address is available in the Android app, I think for both operating systems and all users, it will be the web wallet that you will access those Omi features through.
Yeah, and is the plan obviously to have those at the same level? So obviously there's probably nothing additional that Android users can do, although it's obviously going to be a lot simpler. There'll be the same sort of level and the same sort of staging.
That's it. The only difference is that Android is much less stringent on what you can and can't have in the app, which is why that differentiation is there. Yeah, but there's no advantage to having it Android.
No, that's great. No, super. Cheers, Reese. Thank you. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
All the best. Bye-bye. Bye now. Bye.
No worries. I did just bring someone up, but it looks like we may have lost them. Oh, the Wolf Slayer. Can you hear me? Have you got access there?
Yeah. Hi.
Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we've got you.
Oh, finally. I have one question. Is it a must to send all my Omis into Veve app, or can I hold it in Bitforks and it's gonna migrate automatically?
Correct. So sending them to an exchange or leaving them on an exchange will swap they will swap your tokens for you, and then you can continue to use them on the exchange. Similarly, sending them to your Veve app, we will swap the tokens for you, and you can use them within the Veve app. The only difference is the use of your tokens. So if you're holding your Omi tokens because you want to trade them or sell them in the future, then sending them to the exchange or letting the exchange swap them is probably the best option for you. If you would like to stake or use any of the Omi features in Veve, then sending them into the app is the better option. Now, for a lot of people, they're probably going to want a combination of both. You might send some into the Veve app, some to the exchange, let the swap happen for free and automatically, and then you have access to tokens in both places.
My question is, for example, if I don't send any Omi in the Veve app right now, after the exchange, am I allowed to? It's still an option?
Yes.
Or should I pay insane gas fees?
You will pay gas fees. So if you don't do it now and the exchange swaps for you, you will have to use our web wallet later. And we have built a bridge. So that lets you deposit it into your Veve app later. Now you can do that at any time, but it will cost you ETH gas to do it. And depending on
now it's for free.
Yes, if you do it ahead of before the migration date, it will happen for free. Yeah, it will happen for free. So if you know how you want to use your tokens in the future, you can save yourself some money. That's kind of the point of these Q&As. It's really just to help you plan to use your tokens and save you having to pay ETH gas fees later.
And do we know when is exactly the date of migration, or?
No, we're going to open in the last week of January. That's the plan. And we're just waiting on full confirmation from each exchange to make sure that they're aware of it. We need to sort of update CoinGecko and
So I do have about 2 weeks time at least.
Yes, yeah. And you can move your tokens anytime between now and then. You don't have to wait, but if you are security conscious, if you don't want to leave big values on the exchange between now and then, yes, you can wait until we announce the actual date there.
Okay. Then either way, my tokens are safe, either in Bitforks or Veve app.
Correct. Now, Bitforex, exchanges have their own security parameters. The safest storage is always cold storage. Just to reiterate that. But yes, for all intents and purposes, you have those options.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
Have a good night.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Mr. Ellis, if you are on stage, we may make you the last question of this Q&A.
How are you, Reese? You doing well?
Well, mate. Well, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing really well, thank you. I appreciate hosting the space. I think it's an important conversation. So my question to you is, so currently I hold my OMI token on a cold storage with Ledger.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be using the token swap site. When I transfer back the tokens from the swap site back onto my Ledger, will I need to add anything to my Ledger specifically to accept the new ERC20 token? Like, is there anything I need to add onto my Ledger to accept that new token?
No, not to my knowledge. So the new ERC20 token contract is already live. But the way Ledger works, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but any ERC20 token you're sending to your Ethereum address, and it automatically identifies and splits that into the token itself. So no, it shouldn't be an issue at all. It should just appear there. Of course, I would recommend sending a small test amount first, just to make sure. But that's how I've always kind of interacted with Ledger. If you do need to add a token contract, it's available in the token swap instructions. So it is there. You can add it to MetaMask now if you need to. And can I just ask, Sam, do you pair your Ledger through MetaMask, or do you just use it on its own?
No, I do pair it through MetaMask.
Okay.
So when I initially transferred so when I moved my OMI tokens onto my Ledger, it was a little bit weird because I wasn't able to actually visualize the OMI tokens specifically because GoChain doesn't interact very well with Ledger Live.
Yep.
So that's why I asked the question, because I just wanted to make sure if there was any differences there. Because like for me to be able to see my tokens, I have to take it to Mu to be able to actually see it.
Yeah. So no, I think the way Ledger works and the way they identify ERC20s, it should appear that the contract is already live on Ethereum. A good way to test is probably to open your MetaMask, pair your Ledger, and add the new token contract. And that should, if it appears in your Ledger MetaMask account, then you know that it'll be fine in your Ledger itself.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for your time, Reese. Appreciate it.
No problem. All right, fam. We might wrap this Q&A up here. Apologies to anyone I didn't get to the question of. Just a reminder, we did record the first Q&A from Veve Discord. It is available in the Veve Discord server. There is a channel called Audio Downloads, I believe it's called. And we do have 3 more Q&A sessions taking place next week. So 10 a.m. PT on Monday in Veve Discord, 2 p.m. Wednesday on Ecomi Twitter, and on Thursday at 10 a.m. PT, we will run a Spanish Q&A as well. So apologies if I didn't get to you, but feel free to join any of the Q&As next week as well. Big thank you to everyone who turned out, and if you have any questions, obviously please join us then, or post them in the there is a voice chat channel in Veve Discord, and our mods will go through that and collect the most pertinent questions as well, so we can cover them next time. But other than that, I really appreciate you turning out. Very exciting times around here. We're all very much looking forward to having this migration out of the way. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, man.